will we recognize our Christian loved ones and friends in heaven? It's a great question. It's a very common question we receive in our ministry. And may I say this first of all to my friend who has asked this question. Did you go back and ask these people of these conflicting views that you've got to show you in the scripture, book, chapter, and verse, where they get to support their answer? Always do this, friends. If somebody comes up with something and you're just not sure, just ask them, could you show me the passage in the scripture or the passages which would support your answer? So let's go into this right now. The first question you have asked, will I recognize my loved ones in heaven? And of course, we are assuming that you are asking about those that are believers, followers of Christ. For we know John chapter 14 very clearly states, Jesus is the only way into salvation. There is no other name under heaven given among men whereby we must be saved, as it says in Acts chapter 4 and verse 12. So if we're talking about you as a believer looking for loved ones who are believers in heaven, the answer is yes. Matthew chapter 8 and verse 11, we can start off with that, comes from Jesus himself. And he tells those followers there that you are going to sit down and recline at table with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob in the kingdom. You will notice they have retained their earthly names, even though Jesus says they are in his kingdom. They've not lost their identity. As a matter of fact, you're also going to see, to answer the second part of your question, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, that's father, son, and grandson. So you have an example of a family sitting together in a celestial table right there. You'll also see in 1 Thessalonians chapter 2 and verse 19, Paul is talking to those believers, possibly some of those he has actually led to salvation in the Lord. And he says, one of the crowns of rejoicing is whenever I see you at the coming of Christ. He's talking about recognizing them in eternity. Recognition, absolutely. Whenever we see in 1 Corinthians chapter 13 and verse 12, we see that Paul also says, I will be fully known even as I fully know. There is so much to unpack with that, including the fact that he will be known by those as much as he will know others. We're talking about a wonderful answer to this question here in seeing them. Now, whenever you say, are you with them? The Bible doesn't expressly say that. People will often ask me, when John 14 says that there are dwelling places prepared by Jesus, does this mean this family goes here, or this neighborhood goes here, or these cousins all gather here, and friends and relatives? The Bible doesn't say. And so where the Bible is silent, I will be silent. But as for recognition in heaven, absolutely so. It's just an exciting thing to see that we will not be nameless, faceless entities with no identity whatsoever. We are going to be in God's family, and we will have that specific recognition with other believers.